Good morning. Happy Saturday. This is lesson 5 from A Course in Miracles. And it is I am never upset for the reason I think. Um, this is the start of probably the more profound lessons of the Course that really challenge you in your perception of how you're thinking and you're acting and how you're feeling. Um, you know, this lesson for me was like probably one of the first lessons that really kind of got me out of my head, to really say, okay, well, if I'm not upset for the reason I think, why am I upset? And it started making me question and really get to the heart of why am I not upset for the reason I think? Oh, is it because, like, basically what I'm attacking in this person is something that I'm living with in and of myself? Is it because, I feel like, you know, that we basically are the same person, and I'm attacking them for something that I do well all the time? Or is it because, I need to see um, the rationale and the reasoning for why it is they're doing what they're doing, and therefore, I can let go of that upset. I can release it. This really begins the whole thought process of, you know, not having attack thoughts, or having that idea of forgiveness. This is kind of that first seed that's being planted in the course that helps you with that. And obviously, the lesson gives us examples to use to go through these concepts, to really kind of put somebody's name, or put a situation, or put it an event into the examples. The I am not angry at blank for the reason I think, I am not afraid of blank for the reason I think. And again, it's really recognizing, when we say things like, I'm afraid to go up and speak in front of these people. Well, why are we afraid of that? Why, we might think we're afraid because we're not a great talker, or we get anxious or whatever. But when we really get to the heart of it, the reason that we're afraid to go up there might be that we feel like we're being judged, or we feel like there's something inadequate in us that we are not going to be able to share with the group that we have to go up in front of. And so again, we're learning to confront the issues within ourselves first, rather than focusing on the other person, which is what in our society we typically do. We typically put it on the other person. We put fault on the other person. We blame the other person. And sometimes, I'm not saying that there's not situations in which someone is quote unquote at fault, and has done something. But at the same time, with respect um, to you, what's your part in it? What's your role in it? Is this something that you can not let steal your peace, or not let steal your joy? And I think there was a line in here that talks about that right here, towards the bottom. It says, if you find that it's hard to pick indiscriminately things that upset you, you should read this line. It says, there are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. Right? So again, it goes back to this whole concept of, having peace, and trying to get back to that peace. And forgiveness gives us that peace. Not allowing uh, our ego to run amok gives us that peace. And really analyzing that, really reflecting on that, is something that is going to continue to help give you your peace. And the lesson today states that, you can go through these exercises 3 or 4 times today. And it gives, like I said, a lot of examples that you can use over the course of your day that I am not angry at, I am not afraid of, I am not worried about, I am not depressed about, so that you can really integrate these thoughts and start putting them into being within you, such that it plants that seed that starts the change to happening. Because a lot of people think change begins with somebody else making the change, but change begins in us, and that's really what this lesson is dialing in to the heart of, is changing us as a people. So I hope that that helps you today. Obviously, if you have any questions on anything, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to discuss and give my thoughts on the lessons, as well as anything that might be tripping you up with the Course in Miracles. Like I said, this is kind of my kind of my this is that has really shifted so much for me, and show so much of how I think, act, and inhabit myself. My natural inclination now, when I do try to get into an attack mindset, or when I do feel out of sorts, is to ask, okay, what's going on in me? Is there something in me? Like, what am I seeing? And it's not really to let anyone off the hook per se. It's just that I can allow something, I have a choice to make. I have a choice to make every day. I can allow somebody to make me feel a certain way, or I can say, you know what? That person isn't operating in love today. And I'm going to forgive that, because I remember when I didn't operate in love. And I remember how I lashed out. I remember how I attacked. And therefore, I'm not going to dignify it. I'm not going to, share it. And one of the further lessons in the course, that you'll come up on later on this year, if you continue on, is one of my favorites. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. And it really speaks to that whole concept of, not allowing our ego to kind of take control and attack, but really just operating in your defenselessness, and recognizing that you don't have to dignify it with a response, because really the response is to yourself. So I hope that that helps you guys today. Sorry for the crazy, you know, son. I'm like, yeah, this is much better. But I hope you have a great day. I hope that that helped you today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.